Hi, I'm Hugh Whitmore. I'm an author, and today's presentation is on the famous prophecy of September 23rd, 2017. And what's unique about this presentation is that today is July 22nd of 2017, so we're about 2 months out from the prophecy, and today I'm going to give you a guarantee, 100% guarantee for what's going to happen on September 23rd of this year, 2 months ahead of the date. So what are we talking about? What is this prophecy? Well, it deals with three things. It's saying that on the 23rd, a sign will appear that will usher in the end of the world, the return of Jesus, and the rapture. And if you don't know what the rapture is, it's a thing that Jesus promised because the end of the world is going to be tumultuous and very troubling. He called it tribulation, the great tribulation, as a matter of fact. But for Christians, we'll be taken up out of that tribulation in our physical bodies here on earth and turned into our spiritual bodies and taken to heaven to save us from the trouble of that great day. Well, what is this prophecy? What's the foundation of it? It's an internet sensation. There are dozens of people on YouTube with videos about this. And where does it come from? Well, it comes from Revelation 12. Let me go there in my Bible here. And it's Revelation 12, verse 1. And it's headed The Woman and the Dragon. So it says, "A great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. She was pregnant and cried out in pain as she was about to give birth." And what this sign is supposed to be is a juxtaposition of celestial objects, stars and planets, that looks like a woman who is arrayed just as it says here, with clothed with the sun, so the sun around her, the moon at her feet, and then the crown of 12 stars over her head. And this particular celestial arrangement is going to be just like that on September 23rd of 2017. And there's supposed to be a planet that is moving through this body of this woman to look like a pregnancy and a birth. And the last time that this celestial arrangement took place was supposed to be on the day that Jesus was born. And that's what brought the Magi from the east to come to find the Christ child. So it's fantastic, incredible event. And the prophecy is supposed to bring about the end times, the rapture, and the return of Jesus. It's very exciting. And I'm going to guarantee what's going to happen, because there's a lot of people talking about it and they're setting this date, but they aren't guaranteeing that the event will happen or not happen. So I am going to do this for you because I have a scroll that has the answer to that day. And in here is the guarantee for that day. Now, I can't guarantee for you what's going to happen with your favorite sports team or your soap opera or anything else in your life, but I can guarantee for you, and I'm going to do it right now, what's going to happen on September 23rd of this year as it relates to this Bible prophecy. And I'm opening my scroll. As you can see, all good ancient scrolls have a good solid twisty tie. And I'm so excited I can't stand it. Are you excited? Are you sitting down? I'm sitting down. Maybe some of you Christians are tougher and you're standing up, and you're going to find out what's going to happen on the Great Scroll on the 23rd of September of 2017. And what is going to happen? What is it? What is it? Nothing. Nothing at all. As a matter of fact, the scroll is so sure of it, there's a big line under it. Nothing is going to happen. So don't worry. Plan your wedding. Plan a vacation. Take a day off. I think it's a Saturday. I checked. I'm pretty sure it's a Saturday, September 23rd. You can do anything you want because nothing's going to happen. How do I know this? Well, it really comes down to three things. The first has to do with the nature of the Bible and the times we're in. And that is that most of the people who are saying this is a prophecy are lying, because the Bible is the most lied about book in the history of the world. Let that sink in for a second. This isn't hyperbole or to try to get your attention by saying something sensationalistic. The Bible is the most lied about book in the history of the world. And it isn't just lied about by the usual suspects, screaming atheists, right, who hate God and want to get any mention of Jesus out of the public eye, and those people. Most of the people who lie about the Bible are a lot more slick than that. They pretend to be inside the faith, and they're lying about it. And that's who most of these people are. And Jesus mentioned this, and he warned of it, that there would be infiltrators. It's in the Bible, in the Gospels. And these people are just lying. And frankly, if you followed this, they lie every year. I started to follow closely all these predictions of the return of Jesus around the year 2000, because that was a big one. Jesus was going to come back, the millennium, the turn of the millennia. Every year since then, there's something. Last year, in 2016, it was blood moons and tetrads and a Shemitah and eclipses and whatever else they were going to talk about. And they were lying then. The same people were lying. The same people are lying this year and making videos saying that Jesus will be back because of this sign in the heavens from Revelation 12. Next year, it won't happen, and they'll just lie with a new thing. They won't apologize for this lie or any of the lies they've told in the past. And in 2018, they'll make one up. In 2019, et cetera, et cetera. So most of the people that you look to on the internet are lying. So you've got to be ready for that as a Christian. And this ties to reason number 2. That's reason number 1, is that you're just not grounded enough in the Word. If you would just read the Bible, you could know about these things when they come up and know in your heart and in your head from knowing the Bible whether or not they're true. So for example, this sign is in Revelation 12. Obviously, that's 12 chapters into the book, and a whole bunch of stuff, crazy, incredible, unbelievable calamities happened before that. And let me give you a couple of them. And it starts in Revelation 6:7. This happens before this sign. If you would just read through the book of Revelation, great book, very exciting, tells you all about the end of the world. It says, this horse came out, a pale horse, and its rider was named Death, and Hades was following close behind him. Hades is hell. Hades is the word for hell in the Old Testament. They were given power over a fourth of the earth to kill by sword, famine, and plague, and by the wild beasts of the earth. That happens before this sign comes up. So I have a question for you. When you took the kids to school today, or went to Starbucks, or went to work, did you see the beasts of the earth killing people? This is a fourth of the people on the earth. Well, there's almost 8 billion people in the world now. This will be 2 billion people getting killed by animals. You know, that's going to take a lot of animals. Did you see squirrels running around in packs killing people in your neighborhood today? I didn't see this. I don't think you did either. This thing is 2 months away, and we got 2 billion people to kill. How many animals are there? I don't think it's going to happen. And if you read through Revelation, you would see that. And so we move to Revelation 6 and 8 has a lot more calamitous events. Revelation 9:8, for example, 8:9, I got that backwards. There's some trumpets blowing and some other things happening. For example, let's see, a huge mountain, all ablaze, was thrown into the sea. Now that would be something. A third of the sea turned into blood, a third of the living creatures in the sea died, and a third of the ships were destroyed. Well, forget that Disney cruise and taking grandma and grandpa on out there on their golden years. This is incredible. A third of the ships, this is a third of the creatures in the sea dying. No more tuna fish. This is incredible. Destructive things. You're going to know about this. As a matter of fact, the most calamitous I can see in Revelation is 6:14. The heavens receded like a scroll being rolled up, and every mountain and island was removed from its place. So think about that. Every mountain and island removed from its place. Move. Think of the great mountain ranges of the world. The Himalayas, the Alps, the Andes, the Sierra Nevada here in America, or the Rocky Mountains right where I live. I live right at the foot of the Rocky Mountains. I can look out my window and see the foothills right there. As a matter of fact, I looked out my window. I have a picture window in my office where I work and write every day. And I looked out there, and the Rocky Mountains were still there before I came down here in the basement for this presentation. So it isn't happening. And If it did, you'd know about it. Your cell phone wouldn't be working. You would have no running water or electricity. You would be in subsistence mode. All of your prepping would run out very soon. It's not happening. It isn't going to happen. And that's what leads me to the third reason, which is the deepest, most heartfelt reason that I just know this isn't going to happen. And that's because I spend a lot of time in the Word. I'm an expert on the Bible. I write books about the Bible. I read the Bible every day. We read it in our family. It's common knowledge, and we work on this thing, and we do it to stay in the Word and stay close to God. And I know in my heart that the conditions in the world at this time in history do not exist for this event to happen. And that's because it comes down to simple, you'd say math or physics. You can choose who you're going to serve in life. And there are only two ways to go, two gods essentially. There's the creator God of the Bible, or there's the devil, Lucifer. And you can send your energy to either God or Lucifer. And right now in history, there's just not enough people sending their worship energy to God. There's a passage by David, King David in the Old Testament, where he says, give to Lord strength. And that's what you need to do. You need to use your energy to give him strength, because if you're not, then you're giving strength to the devil, and that keeps the devil in control and keeps God from having the strength to overcome the devil and then have these events occur, which is to bring back Jesus, have these calamitous events occur, and then have the rapture. But he doesn't have the energy to do that because not enough people worship him at this time in history. Now, I wish there were, and I wish you were one of them. I am. I'm taking the pains to do my part, and I wish you would too, and get to know God and to work hard at worshiping him and repenting of your sin and abstaining from sin and doing the works for him that he requires for you to give him energy to overcome the devil. And then these wonderful events, and they are wonderful to a Christian. They sound horrible and scary, and they are. But when they happen, they're going to happen to our benefit. And then the devil will have to react, and that's what the end of the world's about. All these calamitous events are to create death sacrifice for Satan to try to get his power back. But it'll be too late if enough of us just overcome the devil by worshiping God. And so I pray that you can do this and move forward and learn about this. And one way you can do this is to read my book, The Moment Time Stopped. Everything is explained in there. All of the history of the Bible, a good theory of the Bible that holds up Old Testament, New Testament, any chapter, any verse, explains how God got himself into this position that he needs our worship like this. It explains what you can do, how you can act. It also answers some of the great pressing questions of all time. Why doesn't God overcome Satan? And if God is great, why is there evil and bad things in the world? And why did Jesus say he was coming back right away and he didn't? That was 2,000 years ago. And what about the definition of love? That's in there. And is Jesus God? All of these things are answered for you in The Moment Time Stopped. You can get that on Amazon and Kobo. I should have it up soon too on iBooks, which is Apple, and Barnes & Noble, Nook. The Moment Time Stopped. Do your part. Pray to God. Get to know him. Bring about these events, because that would be a blessed outcome.